chapter 14 of the Lemonade Crime. This is interesting, boys and girls, because the title is called Fighting Words, and this was the definition. Words that are so venomous and full of malice that they cause another person to fight back physically. Fighting words are not protected as free speech under the First Amendment. And today is June 10th, I believe, 2020. And in our country, there are a lot of demonstrations going on regarding the death of George Floyd. And I find that to be interesting. I'm going to have to do some research after I read this chapter about that, because there's a lot of talk about what is and isn't protected as free speech. So anyway, interesting. This is another long chapter, so I'm going to read part of it and then finish it in another recording. So Evan has just challenged Scott to a battle, this time on the basketball court. "You're on," said Scott. Nobody bothered to pick up any of the equipment. The jump ropes, the frisbees, the milk crate, the extra balls were all left right where they were. Instead, all the kids in the class who hadn't gone home lined up on either side of the basketball court. Evan dribbled the ball, trying to get the feeling of looseness that helped him play his best. "We'll play to 7x1s, straight up, King's Court, and you have to take it past the big crack to clear." Evan pointed to the wide crack in the blacktop that ran 20 feet from the basket. That was the line they always used to clear the ball for half-court games. So when they say King's Court, that means that when you score, you actually get to keep the basketball. "Who's the ref?" asked Scott. "No ref, no fouls," said Evan. "Just play. If the ball falls through the hoop, it's a point. If it doesn't, go home and cry to your mother, okay?" Evan was practicing his crossover dribbling while he talked. He was starting to feel his rhythm. He looked at Scott standing at the top of the key. There it was, that look on Scott's face, the one that seemed to say, "Why bother? I always win." More than anything else, Evan wanted to wipe that look off Scott Spencer's face once and for all. "Yeah, okay," said Scott, "but who goes first?" "You," said Evan, shooting him a chest pass so fast that Scott didn't even have time to put his arms up. The ball hit him in the chest and fell at his feet. Evan heard some of the kids laugh and noticed Megan crossing her arms and frowning. "Good start," shouted Paul from the sidelines as Scott picked up the ball and cleared it behind the line. "Nice, Tresky," said Scott. "Real nice." Evan ran up to the clear line and got low, ready to defend. Scott dribbled the ball, hanging behind the line. Then he faked left and drove right, blowing past Evan. Scott was quick, but Evan was quicker. He came up from behind, and just as Scott was shooting the ball, Evan clawed it out of the air, whacking it so hard it smacked down on the blacktop. On the way, his hand smashed into Scott's face. Scott crumpled to the ground. Undefended, Evan took the easy shot and scored his first point. "You can't do that," said Scott. "You mauled me." He sat on the blacktop, his legs sprawled, looking like he couldn't even get up. Evan rebounded and dribbled toward the clear line. He put a hand up to his ear and pretended to concentrate hard. "Do you hear a whistle, Scott?" "I guess not, 'cause there isn't one. Man up." Scott jumped to his feet and Ryan yelled out, "Faker!" 1-0, called out Adam. "Evan's ball." Evan didn't even bother to juke. He just plowed right into Scott, driving him to the blacktop before charging the basket for the easy layup. "Oh, man," shouted Ryan. Megan shook her head. "Why even call it basketball if you're going to play like that?" Evan watched as Scott started to get up slowly, but he had already cleared the ball at the line and was charging to the basket before Scott got on his feet. He made another easy layup as pretty as a bird. "3-zip," shouted Adam. "Scott," said Ryan, "come on, show a little backbone." This time, when Evan started his move to the basket, Scott lunged at the ball. He stripped it from Evan's hands, but the ball went shooting out of bounds. "Out," shouted Adam. "Evan's ball." So Evan took it out again, and this time he faked left, right, left, so that Scott was leaning the wrong way when Evan finally made his move. "It's basketball, Scott, not freeze tag," called out Kevin. Evan slowly dribbled the ball back. Scott faced him across the line, scowling, with his hands on his hips. None of this counts, said Scott. This is dirt ball. This is trash. None of this counts. Why not? Said Evan, dribbling steadily. You agreed. No fouls. You said okay, right? He took a step past the clear line, still dribbling the ball slowly right in front of his body. Then Evan spread his hands out wide, the ball bouncing between the two of them unprotected. Go on, take it! When Scott made his move, trying to grab the ball out of the air, Evan was ready. Faster than an eagle diving, he snatched the ball back, made a spin move around Scott, and drove for the basket. He jumped as high as he could and just barely managed to stuff the ball with both hands through the hoop. Slammed! Screamed Paul, doing a dance on the sidelines. This is gross, said Megan. I'm going home. She picked up her mail bag and slung it over her shoulder. Jessie, are you coming? No, said Jessie in a small voice. She was sitting on the grass, her knees pulled up to her chest. I'll stay. Megan nodded, then walked toward the parking lot. Evan noticed her leaving, but told himself, who cares? I must stop this.